Sick of getting blisters? Stop slipping and just be comfortable with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Great fit, great comfort, lots of grip, and an even better price. Available now at puregripsocks.com.
These might be the most luxurious football boots of 2024, or at least the packaging is. Where the first thing you'll notice is that the box itself weighs about twice as much as the average pair of boots, and you can see the finishing on the outside is absolutely stunning. It's white with green detailing, where of course you can see the Nike swoosh as well as the Tiempo anniversary branding all throughout. It has this really cool kind of pebbled finish and a green sparkle in the pearl white. It's kind of tricky to pick up on camera, but trust me, in person, it's stunning. Where it's not until you open it up where you realize how fancy this box is, in that the entire inside of it is lined in this green kind of micro suede material. And of course, as you'd expect with any top-end Nike model, they do also include a string bag, which might be the most premium one they've ever put out. It's in this really soft, almost velour type material, a nice dark green, and then you can see embroidered on the front and back is a Nike swoosh with the Tiempo logo of 2024, and then on the opposite side, the Tiempo logo of 1994, given that this is an extension of their 30th anniversary release. And then the strings themselves are this kind of twisty ribbon in a glossy green. It is absolutely stunning. The inside of the bag is in the same velour material as well. It gets a string bag rating of 9.9 out of 10.3. It's so soft you could use it as a pillow. Also inside the box is this very random clip-on Nike swoosh. It's made out of plastic, but it has this kind of pearl finish in white. I'm not exactly sure why they include it. It's a very small detail, but it's cool nonetheless. And then finally, you get the boots themselves, effectively the opposite of the emerald colorway that Nike put out not that long ago. This is the special edition Nike Tiempo Legend 10 Elite Pearl, which of course comes in this pearl white finish that has this really unique kind of almost swirly effect on the surface of the upper, with this color changing kind of greenish, bluish, purplish color within the swoosh itself that also works its way into the sole plate as it fades into more of just like a clear translucent, but it still has, as you can see, that kind of color changing effect all the way throughout. This is a pair that does bear a $10 premium over a normal Tiempo, retailing for $250. However, unlike most Tiempo colorways, mainly because this is special edition and more limited than most of the other releases, they are mostly sold out at this point. However, there are still some sizes available, so if you are interested in a pair for yourself, check out that first link down below and get them before they're gone. And speaking of getting a pair, given that we live in this world of reselling everything for more than you paid, given that these have mostly sold out, I've been seeing people listing these at resale prices of $600 to as much as $1,000. I don't think anybody is actually buying them at these prices. So if you are interested in getting a pair at retail, just realize that they're probably only worth the retail price, if that, once they leave the store. I don't view this as a huge resale opportunity, maybe 30 years down the line at the 60th anniversary of the Tiempo series, if it's still around. But as it is right now, I don't think these are particularly valuable. In other words, please don't buy new release football boots at resale prices, because it's almost never worth it. As for the boots themselves, while I do think these 30th anniversary colorways are a little bit better looking than a normal Legend 10, despite the difference in kind of texturing or pattern embossed within the Fly Touch Plus upper, what you're going to find is no real difference when it comes to fit, feel, touch, and overall performance, at least in my experience. I have heard some people in the comment section say that they find it to be a little bit different, but I think whenever you're comparing a new pair to a previously worn in pair, they're always going to feel a little bit different, even when it's the same boot, pair to pair, just due to manufacturing tolerances. The fit, the shape, the feel is always going to be a little bit different. So I would say based on those tolerances, whether it's this colorway with this embossed kind of texturing or a normal colorway of the Legend 10 Elite, expect to have more or less the exact same experience, which is a really good one if you're not after that natural leather feel. There definitely are leather-like qualities to the Legend 10 Elite, but of course, controversially, especially on the Tiempo's 30th anniversary, it is no longer a natural leather, or perhaps more importantly to a lot of people, a kangaroo leather football boot. It's now full synthetic, and because of it, it's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit slimmer in profile, and it has more speed boot characteristics to it than I think the Tiempo has had historically in the past, where I think this definitely relates a little bit more to something along the lines of a Nike CTR 360 Maestri with its Kangalite upper, rather than a classic Tiempo that you would expect to find in kangaroo leather. In other words, if you're a fan of natural leather football boots, this probably isn't the way to go. Something along the lines of the Copa Pure 2, whether it's the Plus model or the Point 1, would definitely be a better option. Or if you're just looking for the best of the best in the leather boot category, I really think the Made in Japan Mizuno Morelia 2 is as good as it gets. However, if you like the idea of a synthetic football boot that still has some leather-like qualities in terms of giving you a little bit of that kind of dampened feel on the ball, what Nike have done with this Fly Touch Plus synthetic is pretty impressive in terms of delivering on at least some leather-like qualities, mostly as it relates to touch rather than actual fit and comfort, to which I think there really is no replacement for natural leather. There's no doubt in my mind they're really good football boots, but are they worthy of being called Tiempos? That, I think, is up for debate.